Ibrahim Traoré received a secret phone call from Tehran while Israeli missiles struck Iran. The offer they made him would change the Middle East war forever and put Africa at the center of a conflict that could reshape the world. If this shocking story grips you, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon now. Don't miss a single reveal as we uncover the secrets reshaping our world. But first, let me tell you how a single phone call in the dead of night forced Burkina Faso's leader to make the most dangerous decision of his presidency. The presidential palace in Ouagadougou stood eerily silent under starless skies when the secure satellite phone shattered the darkness. Traoré's heart hammered against his ribs as he jolted awake, cold sweat dampening his pajamas. Only 5 people worldwide had access to this emergency line. Mr. President, the voice carried the weight of desperation mixed with steel resolve. Foreign Minister Zarif, calling from Tehran. Forgive the hour, but our cities burn while we speak. Through bulletproof windows, Traoré watched his security detail moving with sudden urgency. 4 weeks, international news had been dominated by the escalating Iran conflict, but Africa had remained safely distant from Middle Eastern violence, until now. Wait until you hear what Iran was about to propose, Minister Zarif said. Traoré replied, his military training overriding fatigue. How can Burkina Faso assist Iran in these dark times? Mr. President, as we speak, Israeli warplanes target our people, but this conflict extends far beyond our borders. Israel has been conducting secret operations across Africa, operations threatening every nation daring to think independently. Traoré's blood chilled. Months earlier he had exposed Israeli surveillance networks in Burkina Faso, but the scope was apparently larger than anyone imagined. We possess intelligence showing Israel plans to use African territory as staging grounds for expanded operations against Iran and our allies. They view your continent as their personal military playground. The minister's voice carried calculated urgency. Iran offered a comprehensive partnership to African nations willing to resist this expansion. Advanced defense systems, economic investment, energy independence, everything necessary for true sovereignty. Little did he know, this was just the beginning of the most dangerous offer ever made to an African leader. What exactly do you propose? Traoré asked, his mind calculating implications at lightning speed. Complete defense cooperation, Iran's most sophisticated missile defense systems, capable of protecting Burkina Faso from any external threat, naval access agreements, providing leverage over coastal neighbors. Most critically, energy technology ensuring complete independence from Western oil dependence. The offer was breathtaking in scope. Iran was proposing to transform Burkina Faso from a landlocked, resource-dependent nation into a regional superpower. In exchange for what? Diplomatic support in international forums, Iranian technical advisors operating from Burkina Faso, and, if circumstances require, permission to use your airspace for defensive operations. What happened next will terrify you. Traoré immediately understood defensive operations meant potential missile strikes targeting Israeli interests across Africa. Minister, you're asking me to make Burkina Faso a combatant in your war, he said. We're revealing this war already affects Africa. Israel maintains military advisors in 12 African nations, uses African ports for intelligence operations. Your choice. Remain a victim of their expansion or become a partner in resistance. The words struck like physical blows. Traoré had witnessed the pattern. African leaders opposing Israeli interests often faced mysterious accidents, sudden coups, or convenient health crises. After ending the call, Traoré's hands trembled as he summoned an emergency cabinet meeting. The hastily prepared conference room buzzed with tension at 4 a.m. as intelligence reports scattered across polished mahogany. Sir, Defense Minister Kabor began, exhaustion etched in his weathered face. Iranian intelligence about Israeli activities exceeds our worst estimates. He displayed satellite imagery showing suspicious activity at Israeli-linked facilities across neighboring countries, military equipment shipments, communication installations, training compounds. They're building a comprehensive network, Foreign Minister Ouagadougou added grimly. Iran proposes creating a counter-network across Africa. Nations accepting their partnership would form an anti-Israeli alliance spanning the continent. The truth he discovered would change everything. Intelligence Chief Ouedraogo presented the most disturbing evidence. Sir, Israeli assets operate in 12 African countries, not just surveillance, but active military advisors, weapon systems, intelligence operations. They treat Africa as an extension of their Middle Eastern strategy. He highlighted specific examples that made Traoré's jaw clench: Ethiopian units trained by Israelis preparing for operations beyond borders, South African ports serving Israeli naval intelligence, even DRC mineral extraction employing Israeli security contractors reporting directly to Tel Aviv. Iran offers to neutralize all this, Ouedraogo explained, leaning forward intently. Their defense systems would eliminate Israeli surveillance, economic partnerships would end dependence on Israeli-linked companies, intelligence sharing would expose every Israeli operation continent-wide. But accepting makes us combatants, Traoré observed, rubbing his temples where a headache was building. He replied quietly, according to this intelligence, we're already combatants. We just don't realize it yet. What Ibrahim Traoré decided next would shock his entire cabinet. Schedule a secure video conference with Tehran tomorrow evening. Tell them President Traoré wishes to hear their complete proposal. His advisors exchanged alarmed glances. Engaging Iran during active conflict would fundamentally alter Burkina Faso's global position. Sir, Ouedraogo cautioned, Israeli intelligence will detect this immediately. Our relationship with them changes permanently. Perhaps it should change, Traoré replied, steel entering his voice. Africa has been a chessboard where others move pieces. Time we played our own game. But wait, this gets even more dramatic. The next evening's video conference proved explosive. Iranian officials presented devastating intelligence about Israeli operations, advanced defense technologies worth billions, and economic partnerships promising energy independence. Most compelling was evidence of Israeli plans for expanded African operations, using the continent as a launching pad for attacks on Iran and its allies. Traoré's response surprised everyone. Iran's intelligence concerns all Africa, not just Burkina Faso. Any partnership must involve the African Union and benefit the entire continent. Within 72 hours, Traoré had initiated secure communications with presidents across Africa, sharing Iranian intelligence about Israeli operations in their countries. The response was immediate shock. Most leaders were unaware of Israeli activities on their soil. An emergency African Union session convened, where Iranian representatives presented evidence and comprehensive partnership offers. The debate was intense. Some nations feared Middle Eastern entanglement, while others welcomed challenging Israeli influence. 6 months later, the transformation was unprecedented. The African Union established protocols monitoring foreign military activities. Several countries expelled Israeli advisors after discovering unauthorized operations. Most significantly, a new African defense cooperation framework emerged, allowing continental responses to external threats. Iran joined as a strategic partner, providing defense technology while respecting African sovereignty. But the personal costs were severe. 3 assassination attempts targeted Traoré in the following months. Israeli intelligence operations against his government intensified, and Western allies imposed economic restrictions. Yet public support was overwhelming. For the first time in decades, Africans felt empowered in global conflicts affecting their continent. 1 year later, addressing the United Nations, Traoré reflected, when Iran called, seeking partnership during their darkest hours, they awoke us to fight our own war, the war for true sovereignty we've been losing for decades. Gesturing to unprecedented African unity in the assembly, he continued, today, Africa is no longer a silent observer of global conflicts using our continent as a battlefield. We actively participate in determining our security, alliances, and future. The thunderous applause echoed not just through UN halls but across a continent finally finding its voice in global affairs. That phone call had awakened Africa to its own power in shaping world events, and that awakening was worth every risk they took. Loudspeaker disclaimer. The content presented on this YouTube channel is purely fictional and created solely for educational and entertainment purposes. The stories involving Ibrahim Traoré are imaginative narratives and should not be considered real events, official reports, or factual accounts. This channel is not affiliated with any government, news organization, or official source. All characters and scenarios depicted are the result of creative storytelling and are not intended to mislead or represent actual people or occurrences. We appreciate your support and thank you for embracing the power of storytelling.